Welcome back to Football Daily, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we need to simulate, yes, you heard me right, simulate the future of Newcastle United. Now, before we get started, as ever, I want you to go down into the comments below and leave a question for the Sunday Vibes team. I'm not on it today, but I've had a little word with Christopher Hamill, and he is going to be looking through the comments on this episode of We Need to Talk, looking for a headline topic for him, Pato, and Doogie to discuss. So if you want to get picked, go in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And also, while you're down there, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Okay? You get it by now? I'll give you some time to do it. Not even got a watch on, but I'll hurry up. Get on with it. It's International Week, isn't it? And to be honest with you, there's absolutely nothing to talk about in the world of football other than Newcastle United's takeover and transfers and all of that good stuff. But I thought to myself, this is We Need to Talk. How can we put a little twist on it? Then I thought to myself, Football Manager. Now, anyone that knows me personally knows this is dodgy territory for me. I'm a recovering Football Manager addict. Okay, so I really shouldn't be loading up the game. My girlfriend will not be happy with me to know that I have loaded up the in-game editor either, because when the in-game editor gets loaded, you end up in a rabbit hole. So what I've done is I've gone through, I've downloaded the latest database, so I've got all the up-to-date transfers across world football, and I've then input Newcastle United's new ownership structure, their new financial structure. I've given them a shitload of money. What we're going to do is we're now going to play out the next, 5, 10 seasons and see exactly what happens. This could be carnage. I don't know what's going to go on. By the way, I'm having to use FM21 because that's one with the in-game editor, as FM22 isn't out for another month yet. I can't get access to the in-game editor for FM22, so just relax. FM21, but it has got the updated databases. It's got all of the updated transfers. Basically, it's a new game. I hope that makes sense. Now, because this is FM21, all of the teams are in the right leagues and all of the players are at the right clubs, but we are a year back, if you get what I mean. So I've simulated the full first season of Newcastle United's new ownership structure. Here you can see, if I go down to, let's say, staff, directors, managing directors, chairmans, that should be non-executive chairmans, owners, Mohammed bin Salman in there. They've got a serious budget. We're a year into it. I want to see what they spent their first window's money on and their second window's money on. So let's have a little look. Transfer history. Let's start with the first window of ownership, which in this game is 2021, technically. They spent 418 million? $418 million in the first season? What? Thought that can't be right. They spent 418 million first season. Okay, they dropped 92 million on Amadou Haidara, coming out of Red Bull Leipzig, straight into the Newcastle midfield. They dropped 63 million on Theo Hernandez, the left back. Unreal business so far. 60 million on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. How did he do first season for him? Newcastle. 29 appearances, 12 goals. It's not too bad. Pantagiotis Restos. I've never heard of him. I probably should. EFD won't be happy with me on that one. Signed from Bayer for, what was that fee from Leverkusen? It was 48 million. A centre-back. So they've signed a centre-back, they've signed a left-back, a striker, a centre-mid. They brought Max Aarons in for 48 million. They've just spunked 48s and 50s on everything. Jonathan Oconee come in for 46 million. This is a massive overhaul. This is a huge overhaul. Adam Webster came in from Brighton at centre-back. So we've got a new centre-back pairing of him and Retsos. We've got Jonathan Oconee playing what? Is he playing attacking mid for him, I would presume? Up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Theo Hernandez left back, Haidara DM, Max Aarons right back. Gylfi Sigurdsson came in. Less said about that one. Ander Herrera came in from PSG, another central midfielder. Matthias Jorgensen, Kazawa came in from PSG. There's a few others, but they're sort of youngsters, Tash and Oakley Booth. They got rid of Jeff Hendrick, Paul Dummett, Matt Ritchie, Kraft, Gillespie. They got rid of a lot. Isaac Hayden, John Joe Shelby. In terms of overhauls, that is just gigantic. I suppose that was in the first summer as well, because technically I've simmed from the first transfer window and through the second transfer window, because I'm at the 2nd of September 2021. So in their second transfer window, they bought in £198 million worth of players, so not quite as much, but still done 60 million on Pedro Neto, 44 million on Moussa Dembele, 28 on Holgate. They bought Ceballos in for 21 million, which they bought Mazraoui in 21 million. Bijlau 20. Oh my god, they are just spunking money. Manquillo's gone, Murphy's gone, Fernandez is gone, Longstaff's gone, Shah's gone. Joe Linton finally went to Dynamo Kiev for 3 million. Good business, that. Good business. Signed him for, what was it? Close to 40, sold him for 3 to Dynamo Kiev. So here we can see the squad after the completed first season and technically the second transfer window. I mean, it's pretty unreal, isn't it? You know, like Calvert-Lewin, Moussa Dembele, Max Aaron's in there. They've still got Wilson, Sam Maximan, Holgate. Down here, you know, Willock's still at the club. Ceballos, Grenier, Haidara, Kazawa. You've got to respect it. You've actually got to respect the amount of business. They've done over £600 million worth of business in the first 2 transfer windows. What's the sort of reputation? They've got a continental reputation already. They finished the first season of the new ownership in 9th. Managerial change then, because I've just spotted it. So Steve Bruce went out the door, sacked. Graham Jones took over as a caretaker, which actually is very realistic, isn't it? I can imagine that happening in real life. Then Vladimir Weiss, who I feel like I should know, but I don't know, came in. Slovakian. I mean, where's he been? Where did he come to Newcastle from? So a little bit of a dive into Vladimir Weiss, the Newcastle boss, reveals that they hired him from Slovan Bratislava in 2021, where he'd been for maybe 7 years after Kairat. What is this managerial appointment? What is this managerial appointment? Vladimir Weiss. I mean, I can respect some of the transfer dealings. Got him up to 9th. They spent 600 million. But who's Vladimir Weiss? And they've given the captaincy to Gylfi. So after the first season, they still haven't won a trophy. Obviously, last major trophy win was 1955. That was the FA Cup. Still haven't won a trophy. They finished 9th. They spent 600 million in the first 2 windows, and they've appointed Vladimir Weiss, who we don't know. What I'm going to do now is I think I'll jump 5 years into the future. So I'll sim up until 2025, and we'll see where Newcastle are at then, and go through the transfer dealings again. This is actually exciting. I love Football Manager too much. Oh, God. I'm going to be back into it, aren't I? What a disaster. Okay, you might have noticed a couple of changes here. Number 1, it's the next day. The simulation, no joke, took like 4 hours. So I went out. We went out, football daily night out. I'm unbelievably hungover. I'm so hungover right now doing this. But we've got to the 1st of July 2026. The simulation finally completed. My laptop was in whirling. Was in meltdown. Let's have a look where they are. Okay, first and foremost, as you can see, we're on the overview here. So let's have a look. Where did they take over? Sort of around here was the first season, wasn't it? 9th. They dropped to 11th. Big jump to 5th. Big jump to 5th in the 22-23 season. Get excited about that season, Newcastle fans. A little dip to 9th. Last season finished 4th. So that means their most recent season they were playing Champions League football. Then 7th, 25th-26 season. So a little bit rocky. But they did make Champions League football in 24-25. So, as you can see, major changes in the managerial department. We've still got the Continental 5.5-star reputation. Zinedine Zidane is in the dugout. Theo Hernandez now vice-captain. Weston McKennie as captain. I mean, this is heavy change. Heavy change. Let's have a look at their transfers then. I've got it down in front of me here. I think we might have already looked at some of these names, but I don't remember Danny Olmo being in there. £83 million from Leipzig. Of course, the season before they took Haidara, so a strong Red Bull connection. Everybody's getting binned off here. £286 million spent. Let's have a look at the next season. Now, these are fresh. We haven't seen these before. Weston McKennie came in from Juve for 100 mil. Weston McKennie to Newcastle actually does feel like a fairly realistic transfer in real life, right? You know, he's on the periphery of this Juventus squad, would be an exciting player to come into Newcastle, would have a bit of an American connection for the owners as well. Makes sense on a number of different levels. 100 million does not make sense. Makes no sense. Fikayo Tomori, that would be an unbelievable signing for Newcastle. 51 mil he came in at. Basuma came in at 49. Kumbula from Roma came in at 42. Serge Aurier, 22 million from Villarreal. I'm not sure about that one. Danny Martin, 12.5 million. I mean, they're spending some significant amounts here, aren't they? 300 million spent in the 2022-2023 season for Newcastle. Isaac Hayden finally gone, 8.25. There was a number of loans before that. Fraser's gone. Almiron's gone for 11 million. You know, they made 59 million. Some not terrible business there. Some of them are significant fees. You know, Almiron, Holgate didn't last long at the club, did he? Let's keep moving on. 23-24. Only £167 million spent, so the money is just starting to fall off a little bit. And of that, 58 million went on Dwight McNeil. And then Deo Upamecano come in. How many centre-backs are they signing this regime? Seriously. Ezri Konsa came in as well. Carlos Vinicius at 21 million. They are doing an awful lot of business. Joe Hart somehow got back in. Joe Hart's back in the Premier League. 550k. Celtic absolutely delighted. Jorginho, free transfer. And Curtis Jones on loan. I mean, that seems incredibly unrealistic. And they sold 124 million, so they're doing much better business on the outgoings. Mazraoui went out to Porto for 24. Haidara, big loss. He came in at, what, 92 million? They've sold him to Ajax for 16 million. Danny Sparks went to Milan. Sam Maximan finally got a move to Leicester for only 18 million. Obviously, must have been contract issues there. Callum Wilson, 8. Joe Willock went out to 5. So, yet more of the current squad out the door. Let's keep moving through the seasons. This is last season then, isn't it? Tanguy Ndombele in at 10 million with a part exchange. I would like to know. Oh, for Rami Benassani. Probably should know who that is. And then they bought Curtis Jones on a permanent, £37 million, rising to 46. Brandon Williams came in, 32 million. Liam Reddy, 25. Umar from PSG. Who's this? Who's this? Should probably know. Embarrassing, but I don't. Apologies, Umar. Maximilian Werber, 18 million. Ruben Reyes. I like that name. Ruben Reyes. From, is that Club America in Mexico, I think. Zeki Chelik came in. Tanguy come in. Matthew Ryan. Jordan Henderson from Mill. 200 million. 71 out the door. Most of it on Jonathan Ikone, who's gone to Inter. Brandon Williams has gone to Norwich. Very realistic. Jorginho didn't last long, did it? But they did turn a profit. They got him in for free. Sold him for 4.5 million to Lyon. And then the most recent window, let's have a look. 81 million on Yerry Pino. Jeremy Pino from, is this the Villarreal? Jeremy Pino? It is, the Jeremy Pino from Villarreal, 81 million pounds. Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming at 71 million it's rising to. Wow. James Ward-Prowse must have been at City. Belotti, he was also at City. And nearly 200 million in sales as well. Most of it, Pedro Neto going to Madrid. Got his big move. Used Newcastle as a stepping stone, Pedro Neto, to go to Madrid. Calvert-Lewin also a bit of a stepping stone, as with Max Aarons. Both of them getting huge moves to Man City. Deo Upamecano going back to his former club, Leipzig. So a lot of money being spent there, as you can see. They've already done, in a month's worth of business here, 25 million on Ronaldo Vieira. But let's have a look elsewhere. Let's have a look at competitions. We've seen them spending, I mean, billions at this point, right? I'm tempted to kind of add it all up. From when they came in, 429 plus 286. Calculator. They've spent 1.6 billion pounds in that 5-year period. And what have they won with that 1.6 billion? Oh, first, before we see what they've won, let's just see who's come in and done the management. So we had Bruce, then we had Graham Jones, then we had that Vladimir Weiss. Peter Ramage took over from Vladimir Weiss. Peter Ramage. It's not the Peter Ramage, is it? He obviously got the sack only after 29... Oh, he's only caretaker. Sorry, Peter. Then we went to Georges Sampaoli. Obviously, we'll know about him. Ramage come back in as caretaker manager. Obviously, a club legend. And now we're at Zizou. I'm tempted to see what happens with Zidane, but I'm not going to because it just takes too long to sim, to be honest with you. Let's see if they did win anything. Did they win anything? Premier Division, obviously, we know they haven't won that. Nothing in the FA Cup. Oh! Carabao Cup. They won the Carabao Cup. It must be the holders. Newcastle beat Southampton 3-0 in the Carabao Cup to win it in the 24-25 season. Unreal. So they've actually won something. They've actually won some silverware. Fair enough. Not major silverware, but some silverware. They also won the Papa John's trophy. I'm not sure what that is. It's the under-23s, is it? But the Carabao, I think you've got to be pretty happy with. They haven't won a major sort of Premier League or FA Cup. But they've got the Carabao in the bag. I kind of want to see how they did in Europe as well. Landmarks. Oh dear. 2024. Yasir Al-Ramayan scales down funding. Not great. They did increase the youth category, though, to Category 1. So they improved the training ground, obviously. Again, they did that in 2023. Yeah, you know, they've obviously put money in. But 2024, look at this. Slowly starting to pull it out. Best 11. Does anybody come in? Dwight McNeil. Jonathan Iconi. Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing right wing. Not sure that kind of works. Musa Dembele. Vesta McKennie. Danny Olmo. Teo Hernandez. Fikayo Tomori. Max Aarons. I mean, it's some team, isn't it? It's some bloody team. So there we go. Newcastle United. In 5 years' time. Carabao Cup winners. Champions League players, Zidane is the manager, over £1.5 billion spent, new training facilities, a stadium upgrade. Not too bad. Not too bad. Will it play out like that in real life though? Probably not. Probably not, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. While you're down there, leave a comment for Sunday Vibes. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Bit of a random one. Goodbye.